Today, I'm going to explain the DBJ Stories story of the Damien and the Sidekicks characters' origins. So let's start right away. Here's a picture of this story. The Sidekicks is a team of humans, ink creatures, animals and clones that are heroes and protects the world from any bad guy, including the baddies and the rest. Ever wondered where these species came from? And some type of human didn't came from Earth? Here's the Sidekicks' backstories. Damien Deshawn Bumpus. There was a 123 light-year planet called Geros, and was filled with Gerosian humans. The planet contains 1,200 humans and 2,357 animals. Damien was forming inside an asteroid when an asteroid hit Geros 23 years ago. Considering his mom and dad and his brother and cousins, born in 1986 after a huge bombardment in Geros, killing all living beings in the planet and all life, Damien and his siblings managed to escape the bombardment due to their parents' help. They arrive in the solar system and heading to Earth at the speed of light, and crash-landed in a random location. They crashed in the United States of Michigan, and were completely formed. They got out of the asteroid uninjured, and as babies, unlike other human babies, they don't cry at all until they talk at 3 years of age. The cousins and brother went towards him, and Damien realized they were brothers, and cousins knew too. In 1991, they went to schools to become smarter. The brother and cousins went to separate schools. This is where Damien meets his sidekicks. Balina is with Joey, Rayman, and Mario. Although Balina is disguised as a boy for obvious reasons. They grew up with each other, becoming friends until moving to a house in 2018. Damien was 21 years old, but for some reason he stops aging and will stay 21 permanently, although this was eventually scrapped. Eventually in March of 2018, Damien started to love Balina when she sees her true appearance, although he was confused with her half-true look and didn't quite like her look. But he decides to be her boyfriend and hang out sometime. Damien still hangs out with his brother and cousins in a separate house, and sometimes Damien and cousins visit his house. Balina Carter and Joey Drew. In the United States, New York City, New York, Joey Drew Studios was abandoned for years since 1929. After the events of Bendy and the Ink Machine, the creations are stuck in a cycle inside the studio and can't escape. After some time a ink creation formed inside an ink bottle as a baby instead of a usual character. It was Joey, a friendly version of Ink Bendy in 1975. It went out the bottle and started producing ink eggs to form new ink creatures, and Joey somehow went out the studio since being trapped in a cycle. In 1987, 12 years later, another ink creature formed, and it was a female ink creature called Balina, a female version of Bendy the Dancing Demon. She releases ink eggs to form new creatures like Joey. She also met some already formed ink creatures who are also releasing eggs and 10 named ones. She also mysteriously went out the cycle. Both Joey and Balina met and were treated like father and daughter, but were still friends. Balina disguises herself just not to be randomly bringing males who are attracted and flirting with her. She also hides her eyelashes and wears boy clothes for no suspicion. Joey originally had a face that looked like Bendy, but randomly melted by solar heat, he somehow got the ability to see anyway like Ink Bendy. They both met Damien, Rayman and Mario at school, and hangs out with Damien and his cousins. You probably know this already, so I'm not gonna say it. But Balina slowly showed her true identity, first showing a tutu, her headband and eyelashes, her true skin color being a darker shade of blue, then hair. Her tip of the tail is now a heart, her gloves having hearts, human-like eyes, and later her shoes and gloves are pink. Don't forget her eyelids are pink now, leading her to become Damien's girlfriend. Mario Rodriguez and Rayman Rogers. Rayman was born from orbs and Mario was born by an unknown person. They both met Damien and the others and stops someone from doing evil plans and hang out. The clones. The goodies bought a cloning machine to get more siblings in the house. They started with Famian, Ralina, Goey, Raymond, and Tario. Tario had normal eyes, and they were friends with the goodies, but were betrayed and they left them homeless. A stranger finds them sad, and the stranger said to them to get better, and the stranger punches Tario's eyes for no reason, breaking them and turning them black and have red pupils. The baddies were mad and had to get revenge on the goodies and tried to destroy them, but they separated. Rowlena also hid her true identity, but not for long, but Famian doesn't become her boyfriend unlike Damien and still be a friend to her. They failed multiple times by the goodies. To this day, they continue making plans to destroy the goodies, but continue to fail at them. Derek and Millie aren't actually clones, they were neighbors next to the Sidekick house, and became residents of it soon after. That's all the backstories of these characters.